Leadership is not all about position, titles, or entitlements. It is about touching or influencing the lives of those who brought you into power. And on that note, I welcome you to Know Your Representative, the program that bridges the visible gap between lawmakers and their constituents. I am Maria Olashende. But first, let's meet my guest, Honorable Dachung Musa Bagos, representing Jos East, Jos South Federal Constituency of Plateau State. Born on June the 4th, 1977 at Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria, Honorable Bagos, a renowned philanthropist, politician, humanitarian, youth activist, and anti-corruption expert, has championed and convened a couple of movements for the sake of humanity, among which are the Plateau Youth G17 Peace and Progressive Forum. He founded the Dachung Musa Bagos Foundation, a humanitarian and philanthropic non-governmental organization that has carried out community development services to different communities in and around the state. Bagos is an understudy student of criminology and security studies, a discipline that has enriched and shaped his dedication to the country's fight against corruption and insecurity. A humanist whose life has impacted his community and mentored many. Bagos is a member of the following committee in the House of Representatives: House Committee on Anti-Corruption, Financial Crimes, Health Institutions, House Services, National Security and Intelligence, Public Procurement, Rural Development, Solid Minerals, Waterways, Foreign Affairs, Human Rights, Legislative Library, Research and Documentation.
Honorable colleagues, I rise to move for the second reading of a bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Education Research and Development Council Act (CAP) N105, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, which was established in 2004. I so move, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues.
A committed church elder, Bagos is married to his lovely wife, Lydia. They are blessed with 6 beautiful children. Honorable Dachung Musa Bagos is a member of the People's Democratic Party, and one of his favorite quotes is, "The future might look confusing. Learn from mistakes of the past, focus on the present, and the future will be the product of your experience."
I'm a recipient of a pumping machine. I am actually a farmer.
We really enjoy that structure.
Water is life. Duk wani da za a rayuwa ruwa ne.
So Baba ya samu sauki, and every blessed day in ka taba sha for body ce maka da ba don Bagos ba da shi ya mutu.
But that wouldn't have paid off the way his intervention paid off.
This God's covers. For the past few years, the water that has been coming here during the rain season, rushing here, has consumed many lives, especially children from this secondary school, one secondary school. And we were praying that somebody one day will come and then rescue us. And we thank God that our son, member House of Reps, Jos South, Jos East, Dachung Musa Bagos, has come to rescue us.
This man has won praises for exceptional representation from the people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency of Plateau State.
Ha we matun vang film vang komo. Dinne de batomne ni shelo shi barama. Idang ba yala zamba gos kenmo ni na tok di makaranta wane ne makaranta no mwa vira kwe kiring di men ba tok zaba gos mat.
Governance shouldn't be rallied round by just political will.
Honorable Dachung Bagos has been a voice and a philanthropist for his people. Before his election, the legislator had executed a series of developmental and charitable projects for some communities in Plateau State. This includes rural electrification, portable drinking water, and medical outreaches, amongst others.
Bagos is a household name. Long before he came on board, he has been helping this community, and this is no exception in any way.
The distribution of fertilizer that we are flagging off today. Yo munche flag off ne, so ba we inga yo ya siya ba kenan. Shasa kun gan wanda za a yi a nan yau, wanda za a ba mutane wanda an nuna cewa mun fara flag off.
Bagos was elected into office in 2019, and immediately after his swearing in, Bagos distributed 600 bags of fertilizers to farmers in his constituency.
Gaskiya dama yanayin da mun samu kanmu nan mun sha wahala da yawa. Ba ruwa za mu tashi daga nan mu je har rafi da nisa can ba mu samu ba. Yanzu ba mu da wahalan wani ruwa nan cikin nan, sai dai kowa yana shan ruwa peacefully. Mu har ga Allah muna kasan water is life, so mu gaskiya muna gaya masa abinda wannan ya rayar da mu, muna nuna godiya da cewa muna so a ce gobe mun ji shi ya hau matsayin Bagos ya je gwamna.
Not to assume he knows the challenges of his people, the legislator embarked on community town hall meetings to ascertain the core challenges of his people.
Before getting to the house, we had a baseline assessment studies, and which culminated to us having our first discussion cycle. We looked at the challenges of every district, look at the challenges of every ward. What are their needs? And not only that, we made development associations to give us their needs from every district. So it's very important that we all come together, sit down and discuss some certain issues.
True to his word, Honorable Dachung Bagos, after consultation with his constituents, began execution of key projects in both rural and urban communities in his constituency. This used to be the only block of classrooms for the children in Gazara community of Just East local government, where children were exposed to dust and harsh weather conditions and choked learning environments. But the intervention by the honorable member has brought smiles to both pupils and parents of Gazara village by constructing a state-of-the-art block of classes.
This school, when I am here as a class teacher, I came here starting with these 2 classes or 3 classrooms here. That is the community work. When this project came in, we were okay. The Dachung Bagos project satisfied us with enough classes. The 2 classroom block that was started and finished. There is some things that we have not expected. But with the project, Today we are seeing a live thing that even in my house, I don't have it. The fan, the solar, the seats. Honestly, this project have made me impressed.
Similarly, Dachung Bagos constructed other state-of-the-art block of classes equipped with solar electricity, and it is fully furnished.
The one that Bagos gave us, we really enjoyed that structure because that structure has so many facilities in it. The solar, which we don't even know before. Even in our homes, we don't have it. We have solar there. And how the office is even furnished. The classes are big enough for us, and the children are really enjoying the structure.
All our projects that have been executed so far are projects that have direct impact to the people. I've been able to lobby for projects that have direct impact to the people.
The road from here, maternity, to the back was very bad, having some big potholes that even motorcycles found it very difficult, especially when conveying people to the farm and conveying foodstuffs from the farm home. And still from that point, from Wat Railway, that moves straight to Sabon Line. Still the same, we have a muddy area that even trucks found it difficult to pass. Then the same thing from Kushe Catholic Church going to the palace of the Kushe was also very bad, inaccessible at certain points. Then the road to the palace of the Gomre are barely some 500 meters to his new palace were also bad. So when he got the information and I was contacted by his team, he gave what was needed and the roads were graded and drainages were provided. The roads were also lifted a bit high. So now that even after the rains that came, the roads are very good. We didn't find problem with them. So that intervention really affected the people. The kind of intervention that we have been looking for. In fact, I had sat with my committee to ask how do we get money for this work. We're thinking of really taxing the community, organizing community level, but that wouldn't have paid up the way his intervention paid us. So we are very grateful. On behalf of this community, I am the right person to speak on it and appreciate his efforts.
In mun ka duba daga wancan wurin wannan culvert ba mai wucewa lokacin da ruwa yana yi sosai a nan. In ban manta ba shekaran da ya wuce akwai yaron da ya mutu a nan domin yana so ya wuce sai ruwa ya doke yaro din. To amma yanzu da aka gyara hanya kun gane daga can na fito na ina bin nan domin gaskiya an gyara hanyar nan kowa yana iya wucewa da kyau. A da kuma mutane ba za su iya su in sun dawo daga gona ba za su iya su wuce nan ba sai sun zagaya a ta can kamin su zo su wuce zuwa gidaje.
Before, when we have been working around here, we will not use to follow this road. But now we are now passing through it now, all over. Because last time, if somebody tell us that we should just go drop him at the Lodiak, we're not able to follow there, and then we'll go and turn and follow the other road.
So we want to thank Honorable Bagos with this job well done, because this road was a death trap before. The road wasn't accessible to our people, especially going to farm. When people are coming from the farm with farm produce, hardly they move from this road. But we want to thank the Honorable for the job well done, because now the road is accessible to every person.
At the time we started this project, I think the contractor met me, we sat down and we discussed over how the project will move. The contractor demanded for some laborers from the digging, the foundation digging, people that will be mixing the cement, people that will be bringing supply blocks and others. So I think the project generated income for so many in this community, especially widows. We look at those people that are less privileged in the community, we involve them in the project, and we are very happy that they could raise something for their need from the project.
Inda mahang a community hall de ye ruas ye modi e wukilce Jos South Jos East in whose Abuja ye ruas Dachung Musa Bagos ye radia siraka na avedi community hall wo yaga cheman wang bisimi yirane ura biye chemo do risimi yirane mo ura je ku bara se morfak de yiga veme ku radia siraka ye gwamura dia siraka be veme erin ven town community hall wo mo be veme ura di ki sel hodnin dem tetu in yele wori je konen durin radi tola vel mirom dibi mo vod ma di vidie babra set especially in jang ruak wor bare set ku rog dar ku babin yebra mana mot ku radi community hall wo ki sel hod in jimo bi ramana mo apomo in jimo kuma bin yebra chagache ko basang bong basang daguma bin yebe basano mo ku radi in sel hod bi gong tiretu baya no ma wurati dinen joganen bin ra en nanin joga the social events and being around no more inside also so say
to see how the work is moving on. Honestly speaking, she was happy with the work.
Ba ni kaɗai yake taimaka ba, muna ganin TV, muna gani a radio, muna ji a radio. Allah ya mishi albarka. Ban san Bagos ba, ban taɓa sanin shi. Yawwa, godiya nake mishi. Allah ya mishi albarka. Ban da wanda zan fada sai da godiya.
Despite his high-level community engagements and interventions, the legislator did not allow his legislative duties to suffer. The member has won numerous awards, including award as the best performing representative at the Green Chamber. Dachung Bagos has sponsored bills and raised motions that are critical to the development and growth of his constituents. Since his election into the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, Bagos has sponsored 31 bills and numerous motions. He is a member of 3 ad hoc committees, 12 House committees, and currently the Deputy Chairman House Committee on Anti-Corruption. Honorable Dachung Bagos once said, "A mission always looks impossible when you don't understand the vision. Be a vision carrier and you will lead the mission." This statement holds true to the member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency in the 9th National Assembly, as can be seen in the number of community interventions he has done.
Constituency projects is statutory to every constituency. Project, not allowance. You know, people usually mistaking those two words. National Assembly members usually get constituency allowance. But reverse is the case. You are able to lobby, allocate, or sponsor a project on behalf of your constituents according to the needs of the constituents. And that we've been able to do, lobby for intervention projects as well. None of my bills, it's formality. No. It's as a result of the need we have been able to see as a constituency. It has to do, because some are establishment bills, it has to do with amendment, trying to amend the constitution in areas that we feel it will favor our constituents. And that's why we have looked at areas like state police, we have looked at areas that have to do with human rights, look at areas that have to do with anti-corruption, those amendments that will strengthen the system. Because we know that if the system is strengthened, our people will be strengthened. As I'm standing, since 2001 till date, you cannot handpick one person that has been convicted or is in jail today as a result of the killings on the plateau or other parts of the Middle Belt. The vice president, when he was in Plateau State, he said that 10 billion naira has been approved. If the 10 billion has been approved or released, the House should investigate where is the 10 billion naira that the vice president said that it was approved. I so submit, sir.
Communities who lacked access to basic amenities such as good roads, potable drinking water, conducive learning environments, as well as tools to aid their farming, can now sigh a sense of relief and attest that they have indeed felt the dividend of democracy.
Most of the projects that we have executed, I can tell you with full assurance that we have documents of requests from most of our constituents that look, this is what we need. And we look at it, we tell you that look, we can lobby for this, we can lobby for this. The ones that we couldn't lobby for, we still keep in view for the next budget year. But we've been able, thank God that so far so good. We have been able to lobby for projects worth hundreds of millions in the past 2 years. And I always tell my constituents the projects are there. You see them, it's in the budget, you see the value. It will interest you to know that some of the projects were not even part of either budgetary provision or even the intervention. Some of them were personal, were initiated personally, that from my personal funds, I've been able to execute some of the projects. So the records are there, and we always encourage constituents that look, even before, during, or after any engagement or town hall that you do, the budget is online. You can check, type your constituency, you'll be able to see the projects that have been allocated to your constituency. Follow those projects, go and see if those projects are being executed, because it is for the people and it must be executed for the people.
The task of the leaders is to get their people from where they are to where they've not been.
If you truly want to empower anyone, 2 areas, education and skills.
How do we hold our leaders accountable in the business of lawmaking and representation?
I don't see any lawmaker today that will not do everything within his powers to attract constituency projects.
And how do the people ensure that their constituency projects are executed to the letter?
The constituency project had noble intentions, and they still remain the most veritable tool to deliver development and progress to the people of the country.
There is no federal presence, no federal rule, no federal project in my constituency. I am the federal government in my constituency.
The Constitution itself provided the framework of governance. And what does it say? That the welfare of people shall be the primary responsibility.
I'm a community man. I know the needs of my people. I've been back on so many projects. If anybody is trying to attack you or anyone, it's your people that will protect you.
From the mountaintops to the deepest valleys, we're ready to go the extra mile just to show Nigerians a constituency project, both federal to state and to local government level. Know your representative with Maria, bridging the visible gap. And that's it on Know Your Representative. Join me same time next week as I bring you another lawmaker who has impacted positively in the lives of his or her constituents at the grassroots level. For missed episodes, you can watch on our YouTube page, Mabase TV. Thanks for watching. My name is Maria Olashende. Stay safe.